but then we have this play. Hey friends, welcome back to the shop. If you've been watching the channel for a little while, you know here recently Dana and I picked up this cool little Monster Moto 80 mini bike, really just to have a little extra recreational fun around the property, maybe when we go camping. And in that episode, we did testing on how fast we could get it on the gravel road as well as hardtop on asphalt. And that is plenty enough power and torque for an 8, 9, 10-year-old. However, when you get into being an adult, especially if you're one that's got extra beer weight, like I do, it really dies quickly as soon as you get off of that compact surface. Grass, a little bit of hills, nope, you're not going to be able to get through it. It just really putters out. So thanks to Facebook Marketplace, we picked up a used Predator 212cc motor to actually throw in here, see if we can up the level of fun some with it and be able to take it anywhere. And we are incredibly excited to get it in and then do an additional speed test to see what the differences are. So first thing we need to do is yank out this old 80 and then go ahead and mock up on what differences we need to do as far as mounting before we can get that 212 in. So let's get started. Okay, we are back. The bike is cleaned up and with parts. So we went ahead and went with upgraded parts from GoPowersports.com. Picked up the new 420 54 tooth sprocket. This bad boy is heavyweight. I did compare to a bunch of them on Amazon that are much cheaper, but they actually are much cheaper from a quality standpoint, and a lot of the reviews actually kind of back that up. So I spent the extra money to make sure I've got something really good. Then we've got the upgraded clutch that we're going to need, and then 5 foot of new chain to make sure that we've got plenty enough for everything that's new. First task is to get this old sprocket off. All right, all set. That is significantly thicker, that's for sure. All right, let's get it on. Okay, well, to get this on here, looks like the first thing that we're going to do, which is pretty common for this motor on any of these mini bikes, is to actually take off this drain plug. There is a front and a back, so we'll continue to use the back, but the front one, we've got to actually grind that off to almost nothing in order to be able to get it in there and sit right. All right, went ahead and traced out where it was sitting correctly on the plate. Went ahead and made a cool little template. We'll get this on here where this goes. None of these projects ever seem to be as easy as they should be for me. Maybe others feel the same way on their projects, but we've got the clutch on, bolt and washer in place, but then we have this play. Obviously this isn't what happens with everyone, but for those that do, what we have to do is actually have a collar in between the engine and the clutch to keep it in place. Well, that could vary in size. So what I did is go back to the hardware store to pick up the best thing that I could possibly find that actually fits, and we are going to cut it to fit the size that we need. All right, collar is cut and no more movement. Ready for the chain.
A few moments later.
Well, you saw me struggling with this piece of shit, this chain breaker right here that should have made easy work of it, only made it harder. So I had to go old school, put it in the vise, and take a hammer and a punch to get that link out. This trash. All right, chain's all finished up. And I went ahead and wired up the switch here, grounded it to the block, and then just soldered it in the power wire, in with the power wire for this. So now we can go ahead and operate the kill switch up top instead of reaching it down here to take care of it. Okay, motor is in. We had to do some adjustments with some of the springs in order to be able to help kind of hold the throttle open and spring back. As you see, we've made a couple of additional mods. We've painted the fenders. We got some cool digital camo vinyl from Amazon, just really changing things up. And before we did the changes with the springs, as you see, missing part of a front fender. Well, on a test pull to see exactly how it started up, luckily we had it away from the vehicles because it shot right out of my hands and up into the air because the throttle was stuck open and snapped the front fender in half. Of course, had to add our own little personal touch there to the shield in the front. So everything else is good. I think I am going to replace the throttle cable and throttle handle next. But it's time to see how fast this baby will do on a hardtop. Well, the mission was for more speed and more torque to be able to go off-road, and I would say that we definitely accomplished both of those missions, as we are at 36.87. Did notice some issues with the throttle, so I'm going to definitely change out the throttle cable itself and see if that helps. But damn! Almost a full 10 miles per hour faster. Well, that was a hell of a lot of fun. Even the hair shows that we had a good little bit of speed there. I enjoyed this project, learned a little bit about these motors and all the trickiness. Now I can understand why there are so many out there in regards to the springs and the throttle linkages and the changes that you have to make, because it's not just as simple as dropping in, connecting a wire, and go. There are little tweaks that you end up having to make to it. But ultimately, as you see, it's worth it. So hopefully if you're watching this video getting ready to take the jump on one of these Monster Motos, definitely do it. Especially if you like to be able to go faster like we do. So until next episode, take care, stay safe. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Coming up next, hydraulic brakes.